This week we're featuring Lepidolite, striped amethyst under the microscope cam, yogurt on Why'd I Buy That, 10 new jokes, and rich buttery love. I feel bad for centipedes, knowing how many socks they must lose in the dryer. Let's start the show. Okay, this is where the show starts to fall apart. I was shaping gems, and my reminder went off. It's about 30 minutes ago, 31 minutes ago now. And I was like, wow, we can just keep shaping for a little while. Why not? Sounds good. Let's do it. So I did. Lo and behold, I'm now late for the show. So that's a thing. And I don't even know where my footage is. But I know I have it. Just need to find the saw, because that's where it all starts. The saw footage. I mean, I saw the saw footage. But that was a while ago. Here we go. Right there. Blizzablam. Now the question is, did I copy over the other footage for the show? What do we got here? Nope, that's rose quartz. Label that rose. What do we got here? Nope, that's garnet. What we got here? Nope, that's the striped amethyst. And then there's tanzanite, there's diopside 1. So we are going to have to copy over the footage. That's all right. We can handle that. We can handle that while we let the saw footage play. A little bit of play time. While I get the cord out and try to move stuff from the phone in real time. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing this week? Benny Loco. We're all loco for Benny Loco. I got the chatbot fired up, so it should welcome you to the show. Benny Loco. Benny Low Company. How you doing, Benny? I have a comedy gig this week. It's coming up. Coming up this Saturday. And I'm wondering, how well am I going to do? It's supposed to be, it's my first paid gig. Because I did the benefit, right? But I wasn't technically paid for that. Even though I did try to do my best. Of course, I want to do my best. Maybe if I blow these up, maybe I can see them better. I'm not sure which one it is, and if I try to copy all of them, it'll take like the rest of the show to copy over. And I can't see anything. That's terrible. I think it's these two. We'll just copy them to desktop. That's the smart maneuver. That way we're just going phone to hard drive and not going phone through the computer to the drive that is currently playing the saw video. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Actually, we already got one of them copied over. I got your notification on the spot. Okay, Benny, I've been thinking if I can schedule the show about 24 hours in advance, that gives the server time to queue it up instead of just schedule it and then go live like I usually do. It seems to work better. I seem to get higher numbers. I'm gonna have to break a leg, just not my own. I mean, maybe break a chicken leg, maybe break a chair leg, maybe break my club trying to get par on a dog leg. It's a golf joke. Remember to breathe and have fun. Yeah, breathing's not a problem. It's it's standing there and thinking and not speaking. The other problem, actually the real problem, because I got plenty of stuff to say. I'm used to doing that with the show. Plenty of stuff to say. The real problem that I tend to have is trying to go from joke to joke. And you'll see that in the joke portion of the show when I have new jokes and I'm just reading them, trying to think about stuff, trying to make sure that my YouTube administrator's working. Aw, shucks, all that kind of stuff. You know, you might be onto something there, sending out the test video. Exactly. Yes. I think that scheduling ahead of time is the key. Okay, that is definitely one of them. Yeah, that's definitely one of them. And this is definitely one of them. Okay, so back to the saw video. Oop, aw, no, 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 stop doing that. It's trying to do stuff. Wrong button. Back to the saw. Back to the video. So catchy, right? That one. This one. There we go. All right, so what I was going to say about the lepidolite, which is it's kind of like purple granite, but it's a lot softer than granite. Granite has a lot of quartz in it. This has some quartziness to it, but it's got a lot of lithium in it. I want to say lepidolite is actually the second largest source of lithium in the lithium manufacturing industry. And so it is kind of greasy, like lithium grease, because lithium, so I'll get into this in a second about lithium, but I wanted to say about this slab, it's got this like purple crack going on, but then it's got this zone of general area, and I was like, oh, okay. We want like a uniformliness in the slab chunk. We don't want cracks and stuff, even though the feature picture shows the cracks, because actually it turns out that has more character. It actually looks a little nicer. I'm going to show that on the microscope cam, but you'll also see this spot, this spot, this spot, and these two spots under the microscope cam. It's kind of neat. You know, there they are, and then you're going to see that chunk. So that's what we're cutting out. Cut it out. It's soft, but it's a hard stone in that when I dropped it and it flew across the room, it did not break apart. I was like, man, I'm going to find this thing in 3 pieces. 710 is oil upside down. And that's the 710 song. Go for the zone. We're in the gem zone. The gemstone zone. Just shared, yeah. Well, I appreciate the sharing. The sharing is awesome. That's what we really like, is the sharing, the lovely sharing that we get. Let's see. Where are we with me looking up lepidolite? I'm gonna read some of the Wikipedia to you so that you don't have to read it. Because that's one of the things that I like, is not having to read. There's a lot of chemicals in here. Not chemicals, elements. There's potassium, lithium, aluminum, aluminum again, silicon, RB, there's roast beef in there. Oxygen, there's 10 oxygens. And there's fluorine, and there's OH positives. Okay, so there's alcohol. Let's see, RB... element. Rubidium. Okay. Looks like a liquid metal. Atomic number 37, very soft, whitish gray metal in the alkali metal group. Similarities to potassium and cesium metal. Interesting. It's not recommended for plants, but it's not recommended for plants. So I wonder if plants could benefit from it. I'm going to have to look into that a little more. But back to lepidolite. Lepidolite is... oh, it's only about a 2.5 to 3 on the Mohs scale. No wonder it's soft. It comes in yellow, pink, gray, and purple. It's a phyllosilicate mineral. And it doesn't say what phyllosilicate mineral is without me reading and finding it. Lepidolite is a lilac or gray or rose-colored member of the mica group, which means it has like sheets. And it's the most abundant lithium-bearing mineral. Okay, I thought it was the second. And is a secondary source of this metal. It is the major source of the alkali metal rubidium. Okay, interesting. Lepidolite is found with other lithium-bearing minerals like spodumene, which is kyanite, and there's a couple types of spodumene. There's kyanite and what's the pink one? I think kyanite is the blue one. There's hiddenite and kunzite. That's what they are. Kunzite is pink spodumene. Hiddenite is green spodumene. It has also been found in high-temperature quartz veins, such as greisens and granite. So yeah, it is purple granite. And that's what we have. Do you have a yellow one as well? No, I don't have any yellow lepidolite. The only thing I have is this purple. I saw that my favorite seller on eBay, Wholesale Gem, they had some of these slabs of lepidolite, and I was like, oh man, snagging up some of that. All right. Thank you, phone, for having a cord that doesn't work. Let's see if I can break out some of this lepidolite. Because one of the things that I like to do is when my seller has opaque stones, they usually cut it in slabs. Because that's what people do, is they slab it up and then they make it into like necklaces and stuff. Because one of the ideas with gemstones is lightweight. You know, you're wearing all this jewelry, and you want to wear lots of jewelry, but you don't want to wear lots of heavy jewelry. That's why I like, like the crowns and stuff that people wear, the royalty wears, they're like 8 pounds. So imagine wearing a gallon of milk on your head for an entire like ceremony. But anyway, when the rock gets slabbed up, and then I see that there's an outside edge, because it's all like this on both sides, I like to get the edge piece. So I'm going to show this under the microscope cam, because a lot of them are like this. It's flat on both sides. But this one's an edge piece. Exciting, right? Well, look at that under the microscope cam. And this will give you an idea of the difference between when it's polished and when it's not. Yeah, same stuff. But that's got a polish on it. Bling, bling. This is the size of the feature piece up in the corner. I'm going to switch over the next video, and then we'll switch over to the microscope cam. How's that sound? Hopefully it sounds good, because I want it to sound good to you. Switching to the desktop. The top of the desk. Looking for the video. I copied them to the desktop. They should be right about here. I'll pass on the milk hat. But, Benny, if the crown was like, a quarter pound, I can't believe I dropped it that fast. I mean, it's because of the water. It's sucked right into the water and it sticks on the thing because of the water. You get it here. You'll get a replay. See all those little pits? Yeah, sort of a vacuum slurp right onto that thing, and then it zing. I found it like 8 feet behind me. Yeah, it's probably about 8 feet behind my left side. Zoom. Oh, maybe it's stuck down in there, and then maybe it flew away a different time. No, nope, it's not stuck down in there. This is where I found it behind me. That was totally a thing. So the idea is having jewelry be lightweight, and so you want to get a thin slab, thin slice, just enough to show the beauty of it. And you can even take the slab and grind out the backside to make it even lighter. But the idea is to make it thick enough that it'll be strong. And that was the cool thing, is that the only real problem from it flying like that is where it's got this white corner on it. And so I ate away a little bit of the corner to get rid of that. That was one of the things that I did in reality. Let's power up the microscope cam, huh? Hope you're ready to have a great week. I posted a picture of the open mic last Sunday, the reason that I went live early and totally screwed up my schedule. It's on my Instagram. Buds and Hazard, man, how you doing, Buds? Buds has been coming by so often, he's gonna have enough gems to get some salsa if I can ever get my tomatoes to ripen up. Anybody else having that problem with their tomatoes like ripening later in the year? Usually my first round of salsa is late July, and it's mostly peppers, but I can make some salsa. But we had like this drought with 90-degree weather. It was like, it was such a cold spring that we couldn't even really get the plants in the ground until the end of May. And so they got a late start, and they were short. And then they got the drought, plus the heat. So they tried to grow, but they were droughty, so they got stunted. And then now everything's fine. They're friggin' huge, giant wall of tomato plants, which I should have put on my Instagram. I'll do that next week. Huge wall of tomato plants, like 7+ feet tall, almost 8 feet, because they're just out of the top of the cages, and the cages are about 6 feet, and they're like raining up into the air, and they're just spreading out. And they got tomatoes, green tomatoes. They're not fried green tomatoes. Maybe if Buds and Hazard grew them, they would be fried green tomatoes. But they're just now starting to turn red. And so I'm thinking that in the next couple days, we're supposed to have some rain tomorrow. Hopefully they don't split. And then we're supposed to have a warm week in the 80s. So maybe by the end of the week, I'll have some salsa and I can do like a giveaway where you trade in your gems that you earn from the chatbot for some salsa. Yeah, firing up the microscope cam with a little bit of microscope cam song. Camera. I gotta get a pattern down. Because sometimes I plug in the camera, and then I turn it on, and then I open the software, and then I switch over. And then sometimes I switch over, and then I plug in the camera, and then I turn it on, and then I power it up. Or switch, yeah, something like that. I don't know. There's a whole process to it. It's all about the process. See, there's the corner of it. There's the corner that hit the ground. Here's the other end of it. And then when I flip her over, there's the speckles. See this speckle here? And this speckle here? And these over here? Those are the speckles that were on the slab. We didn't grind deep enough to get rid of them. And see, it's got these little non-polishy spots. When I grind deeper to try and polish those out, it opens up more spots. So I've really got to find a happy zone and kind of stick with that, which is sort of what I did. And I kind of like this backside, even though it's got this little bit of crack here over here, which was there before I dropped it, just to be clear about that. But then I was like, you know what? The picture kind of looks better if I flip it over, and we got these big angles. I like those. They look traditional, you know, and it's got that little bit of character and the purpleness. And so I'm like, you know, you could mount that in a necklace. It's got that shine going on. Be like, doop, a necklacey thing. Flip it over and make it into a necklace. I don't know. This is my first piece of lepidolite. There's a channel called Lapidary Dave, and he's always going to like gem shows and stuff. And he actually said one of his favorite stones to work with is lepidolite. And I was like, oh, my Stella's got some lepidolite. Score! And so that's what I did, is I got some of that. This is the rough side of it. See how it looks kind of like granite? Kiwi Claw retracted his message. Bam! Almost time for the jokes, Kiwi, but first we got to talk about yogurt. I bought some yogurt. There's a lot of yogurt at the store. Which yogurt did I buy? And why did I buy it? Why did I buy that one as opposed to the other ones? Why don't they have custard style Yoplait anymore? I would actually buy a lot more yogurt if they still had the custard style. Why am I doing the why did I buy that before we're done with the microscope portion? Oh yeah, I was supposed to do, because I actually am going to be working on this striped amethyst. I think I might have showed this last week too. But I wanted to look at it under the microscope cam. I don't often have time to get the microscope cam out and just kind of look at some gems, so I'm really kind of, this is for me to study it, and I do this every week. We do this every week. I take a gem that I'm working on and I try to study it live in real time under the microscope cam so I can work with it. Now I want to show you the diopside I'm working on too, because it is big. Big old diopside. Most diopside is tiny. It's hard to get diopside over a couple carats. This thing's probably like 5, maybe 10 carats, and the only reason it's that is because it's so thin. But it's the size of it is so big. But anyway, this has got some of this dirt that I want to get rid of so it looks a little cleaner. And I want to highlight the stripes. If I cut it upside down like this, see how you get more of the purpliness? That'll show that, but it'll be smaller. And you know, I like big old fisty gems. Let's cut some doorknobs, baby. So I want to try and highlight the stripiness of this. So that's one of the things that I'm going to do. But I got to get rid of some of these cracks. I got to get rid of some of this dirt. We got to do the dirty. And that's probably the side we're going to highlight is the one I've been showing. But then it's got these back sides. So I'm going to try and use those to refract some light and make it more of a showier gem. Just to kind of highlight the stripes. Yeah, we need to do VR video. Wouldn't that be cool to have virtual reality gem cutting? Actually, Kiwi, I did look into that once, and I think it was pretty late because I don't remember what I found. Maybe I found that in order to do VR, we have to do 3D camera, which to do 3D camera, I think they were expensive. They were like, you know, a couple $1,000s per camera, but that didn't make sense to me because certain cell phones do 3D. So, I mean, we should at least be able to get it for the price of the cell phone, which would be a few hundred, like $700 or something like that. And that was like a few years ago. So there's got to be a way to do 3D virtual reality gem cutting. Let's get to the next video, which is the last video, and then we can do the why did I buy that? Do you have any questions about lepidolite? Or about gemstones in general? Or stand-up comedy? or yogurt for that matter. Just ask me some questions. I'll pretend like I know the answers. I like to be the expert like that. Actually, it's not about being an expert. It's more about trying to understand. I like knowing stuff. Like knowing how delicious this soda pop is. I did not have time, because like I say, I was running out of time cutting gems too long. So I got my Go cup with the goldfish. Cheers. Mmm. Delicious. With crunchy ice. Mmm. Okay. So, that is the microscope cam portion, minus this diopside, which I wanted to show. Look at that. It's so big. And I need to smooth it off so that it looks a little bit smoother. But yeah, big old green diopside. Beautiful piece. When I shine it up, you'll be able to see through it. It's so thin, which is pretty cool because like I was saying, you want your jewelry to be thin. I don't know. It's going to get a little bit smaller before I'm done with it, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to keep it pretty big. Look at how big that is. Big old, green diopside. I mean, that's an actual, like, valuable piece if I can keep it that big. I don't know. We'll see. Because actually, it's so hard to see through it when it's cloudy like that. I wonder if I could give it a quick little polish here on some 2000 grit sandpaper. And I get a smoother polish when I polish with water, but we'll just give it a quick dry polish and see if that helps it out a little bit. Yeah, it's still not passing much light through it. But it's got a lot of nice green in there. Maybe if I put the mirror under it. We were doing that a little while ago, a few shows ago, and it was working out. There we go. Yeah, that mirror helps out a little bit. Nice green diopside. Big chunk. Let's see if it's going to show any green up here on the screen. Flashlight? There. Big green gem. I'm going to polish it up. It's going to have some flaws in it, but it's still going to be big. And the green of that is, it's different from like a peridot green. Which, here's another piece of peridot that I was working on. It's more of a money green, and peridot's more of a candy green. So anyway, that's the microscope portion of the program. Sure that not my fish bones. Fish bones. Yummy fish bones. Do not remember what I was talking about. Green is my color. Oh, okay. I like green too. It's a nice color. It's probably my second favorite color after blue. But then again, I do like green a lot. It is a nice color. It's such a springy color, It's like growth time and all that. Speaking of growth, how about the growth of biotic cultures in yogurt? Yeah, I bought some yogurt. Why did I buy that? Yogurt's good. I like yogurt. It's delicious. It's tasty. It's friendly. It's healthy. I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's not healthy and I don't know. It's dairy. It's one of the food groups. Nothing like grouping some food together. I kind of like, spooning it and it's soft, and so it's like a smooth treat. And the fruit is very dessertly because candy is fruity. unless it's chocolatey. Little side story. I bought the strawberry yogurt, sure, but I also bought the chocolate yogurt. I wanted the candy flavors. Yeah, but which ones? There's so many to choose from. Look at all those yogurts to choose from. They got, I don't know why I took a picture. See, it says yogurt there at the top. But I took a picture, and in the area where it says dairy, that's where all the yogurts is. In the area where it says yogurts, that's where all the, like, cottage cheese is. So it's not lining up properly. I mean, you can even see in the picture, yogurt smoothies is under dairy, and then yogurt, and then it goes into, like, diet yogurt or something like that. So they totally messed up. I guess there's different sign companies and they were not talking to each other. They're competing. But I didn't buy the big package because I won't go through that much yogurt. Because, I mean, if it was the custard style, I would. Yeah, I really like that custard style, but they stopped making it. The yellow ones. And then there's the ones that are in like the regular flat top cups. And I remember as a kid, you had to stir those, and I was like, what is this all about? I gotta do work before I can eat it. And then sometimes you don't stir it all right, so then it tastes bland until you get down to that fruit stuff that it doesn't taste like pie filling like it should. I like the pre-mixed up yogurt. And Yoplait is the way to go with that. And the price difference isn't that bad, and I really only get a couple of them at a time. So I went for the Yoplait. I went for those individual grabbies. And since it's a cold item, and I gotta drive quite a ways, I reached farther into the back so that they were colder. And they last longer instead of the ones that are out front, because there's like a 5 to 10 degree temperature difference, as for the ones in the back versus the ones out front. And since they got like 2 rows of strawberry and the 1 row of strawberry, it was all the way back there. It's not like a problem, so it doesn't really take extra time. And the same thing with the chocolate. The chocolate yogurt was a little different. It's like airy yogurt, and it's not really like a standard yogurt. I want to say it was like parfait or some, word that you got to say with your hand. And it's got like a little bit of a bite to it, like a sour cream bite. So I'm not sure if I'll buy the chocolate again for a while. I'll probably have to wait until I forget what it tastes like, and then I'll be like, ooh, chocolate. And that'll happen again. But for now, it was okay. I got 2 of them. I ate both of them. And I got 2 of the strawberries. I'm probably going to get some blueberry next time, some raspberry, and some mixed berry. Because that's good too. So anyway, that's what I bought. That's why I buy that. Maybe I'll get some of the key lime pie or some cherry yogurt. Lots of fruit pies, fruit yogurts. Yes. Anyways, that's what I was doing. My internet went out, but then it came back. So now we can talk more about VR. Look up those VR cameras. See if we can make some 3D gemstone cutting. We go through lots of yogurt here, lots. So which one do you buy? And do you ever buy the big, because they got them big tubs of yogurt down there where you can just get yourself a bowl and start scooping and heaving and throwing and get you the large spoon instead of the little Yoplait things where you got the tiny spoon that you get, and so you can feel fancy. It's out on my phone. Oh, you're on your phone. Well, you're here and you're earning gems, which means that I was talking about salsa earlier. If my tomatoes can turn red enough and I can make some salsa, we're going to send you some salsa. So you've been earning them gems. We got to do like a giveaway because I'm probably not going to have a whole lot of salsa, but hopefully I'll have enough that I can give away some salsa this year. That's the idea. I actually bought a rack of jars, the smaller jars, to put some salsa in so that I can give it away. What do we got? Why'd I buy that? I told you what I bought, which is some yogurt, chocolate and strawberry. I told you which one I bought and why I bought it. Do you ever buy yogurt? And why do you buy that? Why'd you buy that? Why'd I buy that? That's what this is about. What do I got for jokes for you? Jokes? Any jokes? Every jokes. All the jokes. I only got a few jokes, but I'm telling them to you anyway. I went to the gym, and there were guys waxing their chests to look more manly, which is weird, because when I think of manly, I think of a hairy chest. You know, one that looks like a Brillo pad, one you can wash dishes with. You know, like, what is that, fried egg? Brillo pad. I feel bad for centipedes, knowing how many socks they must lose in the dryer. That's terrible. And another thing about centipedes, I can't imagine how many welcome mats they must have outside their door so that people can wipe their feet, so that other centipedes can wipe their feet when they come in. I mean, they must have to have like 30-foot long welcome mats, or 30-inch long. I don't know. How big is a centipede? We'll come back to that. I don't want to be a comedian serving life in prison, because if laughter adds years to your life, I don't want to increase the sentence. Nah. If you tell a joke about coughing, is that considered hack material? Let's see. Oh, I don't like the self-checkout. I don't like the regular checkout. I don't like anything, but the self-checkout is really weird. First off, they have the camera, and then they have the little screen. I mean, I know I'm being recorded, but do you really gotta show me how dumb I look while I give you all my money? And another thing about the self-checkout, it was bad enough when the human checker gave me dirty looks for my purchases. But now I got a computer uploading all my purchases to the cloud, and every website I go to knows that a human just bought diet pills and ham salad. Next thing they'll want my email. That's what I need before Valentine's Day. Coupons for Colt 44s and Colt 45. That was a dumb joke. What do I got? One more? Yeah, oh, okay. I'm so old that I've had 2 hip replacements, but they both work, so hip hip hooray. Which is what I like to say when it's time for the joke portion of the program. I'm so glad you were able to join me for the show this week. Do we have a link for the Tom Kelly show that's coming up? Let's see if I can pull that up. Let's see, where's old Tom Kelly show? No. Ramir. What's he got going on this week? Something? Something about BMX. So it's like a bowel movement, but it's X-rated. Anyways, I'm going to go over there and hang out with this. Elizabeth. Hey, Benny Loco. Special Master was chosen for Trump case, Alvin, and the Chipmunks. Yuppers. She's talking about peppers. That's what we should do, is make some peppers. And we'll combine the yucca plant with the pepper plant, and then we can grow some yuppers. That's a great idea, Elizabeth. I'm glad you were able to make it by. Actually headed to Scully in a while. Scully, buckets of rocks from a gemstone processing place. Scully, is that where you get some gemstones? Do you shape gems, Elizabeth? Welcome to the show. Here comes the jokes. Here comes the jokes. Order in the rock house. Here comes the Thanks, Benny. I'm glad you were able to make it. Buds and Hazard, you're awesome, man. I am always glad when I get to see you. We're going to have to get you some salsa, man. And Kiwi Claw made it to the show. And I'm probably missing... Oh, 710 made it. Oh, yeah. I got to shout out 710. And I got to shout out all you awesome people who, if you made it or you didn't make it, either way, I'm glad you were able to stop by the show. I hope you had a fun time. I'm going to go check out the Tom Kelly show in a little bit. Well, that's like 20 minutes out. So I'll have time to get a refill, and so will you. And you'll have time to plan for an awesome week, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to make it an awesome week. You're that awesome. You're that great. You have the power to do it. And I'll see you again next week at 9 p.m. Eastern. Big love.